Okay, one thing that I want to show you guys is one of the things that I'm doing in order to update the Weather Factory to show what the custom NPCs can do. I'm setting things up so that these speaker NPCs are replaced with custom NPCs. The idea is that as you go through the factory, when you talk with them, Rarity gives them some rain gear so that they won't be freezing cold and wet and probably sick by the time the whole adventure is done. So what I'm doing is create a new custom NPC, and each graphic is going to have its own behavior. I'm going to call this original. This is going to be for Hoops. Wait a minute. I think I'm going to have to cancel this out. In order to pull this off, I need to take this speaker NPC and rename it to Hoops Old. And yeah, I'm going to have to take this dialogue and use it elsewhere, but that's a thought for later. So new custom NPC, name it Hoops, name color. Don't seem to have brown on here. Oh well, I can make that myself. Let's see, 128, 0, preview color. Oops, that's orange, not brown. Okay, cut this in half again. I believe that would be 64. Preview it. Alright, there it is, face image. Let's see. Images. Yeah, there's a lot to go through here. These are almost all the images that are used in the game. Okay, here we go. Okay, there's his faceplate. Behaviors. Original. See, there's going to be two graphics here. So it's going to be left and right. Actually, no, I don't need that. Just do this. Hoops. And just for convenience, I've set it up so that the graphics are all exactly the same size. When they aren't the same size, then the NPC tends to scrunch down or expand upwards, or it's just a little bit annoying. I actually went through that with another NPC. That was, I believe, Altostratus, a character who is in the, let's see, set to, that Altostratus is an NPC who is in the boiler room. Let's see, I'm going to go with Hoops here. I'm going to have to copy this dialogue. Oh man, didn't think things could get any worse. Let's see, I'll copy this, cancel out of that, then go to here. I'm going to have to modify the dialogue a bit. Let's see, add dialogue, starter. You don't have to give it a color. These colors don't even make a difference in the final game. They're just a convenience for when you're editing it. Let's see. Glad I got a spare raincoat for you. Let's see. I think I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to fire up Notepad here. Let's see. Alright, that's under Windows Accessories. I was expecting it to be under A, but it wasn't. Wait, give me Notepad already. Come on. Alright. And it gave me several notepads. Okay. Now, there's going to be a dialogue choice later, but the dialogue choice isn't going to be able to do anything until I've got more behaviors. So I'm going to add more behaviors, yellow. Let's see, there'll be two animations here. I'm just too used to using multiple files here. Browse for this one. Hoops. Yellow left. I'm going to put together the graphics and the overall behaviors before I put together the dialogues. Oops, yellow right. Let's see, green. Okay. Left and right, multiple files. I'm way too used to that. Hopefully this isn't going to take a huge amount of time. I mean, I just got done putting together the spike videos, and that took less time than I was expecting. But I was still barely within the 15-minute limit. Let's see, add one blue. 2 animations. Blue left. Oops. Forgot to set the background color. That's going to be embarrassing later if I have a big colored background there. Let's see. He's smiling whenever he's got rain gear on, and he's frowning otherwise for being cold and wet. So let's see, original. Go back to dialogue, add a choice, which rain gear we'll call it. Yeah, I'll set it to, I guess I'll go with orange on this. Let's see which rain gear. Let's give you a yellow rain hat. Okay, this one, actually I need a dialogue for each of these. Yellow, yes. Need a dialogue chain for each of these. They each have a single command at the end of them. Switch to behavior, switch to yellow, add another one, green, give it this darker green color, add a command, switch to behavior, green, third one, blue, let's see, switch to behavior, blue. Now in this choice, go to yellow, add another option. Let's give you a green poncho. No requirement. Green. Add another one. Switch to blue. And with starter, I'm going to add a dialogue command at the end of it because commands always get executed at the end of the dialogue chain. Jump to dialogue, which rain gear? That's what we want. Let's see, we've got hitboxes there. Click OK. And I'm only going to set up the yellow one just because I'm pressed for time. I'm going to set up the yellow one so that you can talk to him and continue the conversation. Let's see. I'll just go with that for now. Dialogue, add dialogue. I'll just call that chat. No need to give it a color. Now, go back to Notepad. Copy all this out. Now, with most of these NPCs, I'm also adding a dialogue tree that allows you to change their rain gear afterwards, but I'm going to skip that step for this one. You can probably figure out how I did that. So click OK, click OK. There's Hoops, the new one. Erase the speaker NPC one. Align him just right here. And he should automatically look at you regardless of what direction he's in. Close this out, save this as Weather Factory Files, Hoops. No need to pack it yet. And I think I better stop here because loading it into the game is going to take forever. Okay, so after going through the weather factory to get here, really wish I'd done Parasol instead of this guy. There's Hoops. He follows me around in terms of where he looks. You don't seem happy to see me. Can you blame me? You're only pony around. I need to have the only pony around in there. You'd think after a year I could fix that typo. At this point, I'm glad we bought a spare raincoat for you. If I picked green poncho or blue umbrella, there'd be no dialogue, so I'm going to stick with yellow slicker and rain hat. At this point, the same dialogue that he had before I did this is continuing. As you can tell from that dialogue, this is kind of a pastiche of the Rainbow Factory fanfic. So basically that's one of the things that I'm doing. I'm also going to be adding some of the newer enemies in here as well.